So, there is a reason why I'm looking like this, as in not looking at you at the minute. I'm just showing off this merch that I got from the Gadget Show a couple of months back. And, yeah, forgive me. It took quite a while to set up. If there's noises on the mic, I apologise, but I don't have a freestanding camera that easily accessible to me as it's getting stuck on the mic stand. Hey, we'll leave this stuff in, you know, because it's trendy like that, and also shows you the bare bones that I'm working on. We'll put that back in its holster, as if microphones have holsters. So yeah, what I want to talk about today isn't really sort of a topic. It's actually more of a feedback thing for all you watching. First time I've properly done it, rather than just, you know, rant on a topic or, you know, give thoughts on a certain topic. And I just thought, we're coming up to, you know, big games like Evolve. Yeah, and if you're wondering, yes, it is supposed to be like a Tetris block and a whole block here, because it's supposed to signify, as the hashtag said on the back, 4 versus 1. It's a smart t-shirt. I like it. But yeah, it's hyping up Evolve, and don't get me wrong, they're not paying me. It's just because from what I've played of it, I played twice. Once as the monster and once as one of the hunters. And both times the experience was absolutely awesome. It's the game that it should be, but I'll talk about it more in a minute, because what I want to discuss this week is, or what I want to get everyone's opinions on, is what games or you are looking forward to for the rest of this year. Possibly even going into next year, considering some of the recent developments. So, yeah, I always try and have a release date list handy for me, so I know what's coming out when. You know, doing my gaming sim, my podcast, I like to keep people informed of what's coming. So, the only reason I'm bringing it up this week is because obviously, well, I'd arguably say we are now starting the rush towards Thanksgiving and the end of year, which is always where we start to get the big games again. You got your summer drought, which arguably is still going on at the minute, but this Tuesday sees the release of the PS4 remastered edition of The Last of Us, which is getting a lot of hype, a lot of attention, and rightfully so, because it was one of the best games of last year. And I know it probably won't classify as it, but it could possibly want to be one of the best games of this year, even though obviously it's the same content really as last year with some new stuff. But yeah, it's something that people are excited for, and that's what I want to go through. I want to go through a list of some of the games that I'm excited for, and some games that other people are excited for, and, you know, give a few details on them if you don't know much about them. So, coming in August, I don't know if this is Europe only, but apparently and this is sort of one that I'm like, this isn't really a hype one, this is a, one? Games for Sony's PS3 and the Xbox 360. Apparently there is a Kick-Ass 2 movie tie-in. Only issue is, the Kick-Ass movie was last year. The DVD release was last year, so yeah. If you want to pick that up next week, by means do so. But if you die, it's only your fault. Anyway, on to serious stuff. The final iteration of Street Fighter 4 is coming out on the week of the 5th. I'm mainly going by the US dates because I'm going, you know, basically, more often than not, unless I state, if I say a date, it's the US release. and nearly always US releases are Tuesday, European releases are the Friday. So just add 3 more days onto where you are on the calendar, and you'll know. Okay? I'm putting that out there now. Stop me confusing everything. So, Ultra Street Fighter 4, it's apparently going to be adding a couple more characters. Obviously balancing out a lot more, but yeah, this is the final one before I guess we get Street Fighter 5 Next Gen, which is rumoured to be worked on, so that's going to be something for the fighter fans to certainly pick up. Sacred 3 is also coming out on the 5th of August, as is the 3DS edition of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'm not sure about the one that's coming out for Kinect on the 360. But I'm skeptical about that, because the games previously have normally been rubbish. And the fact that it's only coming out for Kinect and 3DS makes me think it's very rubbish. Mid-August, depending where you are in the world. Yeah, mid-August for America, late August for the UK. There's going to be a World of Tanks retail disc edition for the 360 for the, I think it's referred to as the Combat Ready Starter Pack. So basically, it's just to get you up and running. And World of Tanks, don't get me wrong, is a pretty good game, and actually a pretty good console port from the PC version. So if you are a fan, I'd actually say pick it up. You know, it's probably worth it just for that. 19th of August, worldwide, we'll see the release of the, I guess, expansion to Diablo 3. Even though it's only for consoles, it's the Ultimate Evil Edition for both Sony and Microsoft platforms. And will also be the debut of Diablo 3 on the next-gen PS4 and Xbox One. So a lot of people have been excited for that, and Diablo 3 is a pretty good game, and you know, it's sort of, it's not expansion pack, but it sort of is. I don't know, but it's certainly got that feel. Then Infamous First Light, the DLC standalone. Yeah, you don't have to have Infamous Second Son, but from what I can tell, it looks to be telling the early stories of I'm trying to think. Not Laser, is it? It's the girl with the neon power. I think it's Flash. I can't even remember. It's been a couple of months back since I played Infamous. And yeah, that is probably one of the big DLCs that people was looking forward to. And you know, actually also that week, Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare comes out to Sony platforms, depending where you are, I think. I don't know when it's supposed to be coming out in the UK. Or if I am, I can't see it listed. But anyway, 26th of October, we'll see Madden make its way onto the shelves. The more interesting release, though, that week is Metro Redux, the HDified version of Metro 2033, which is a very good game, and then the next-gen version of Metro Last Light, which was a brilliant game. It's probably, if you haven't, at least on PC, if you haven't played the games before, I'd say it's a pretty good package to get of the two. If you have, well, if you've got Metro Last Light, from what seems to be being added, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount, really. So you might just want to get the Metro 2033 HD version instead, which you can pick them up separately. You don't have to buy the bundle of two. Also that week, I'm not sure when it's coming out in Europe, but oh no, I think actually it's already out in Europe. Finally coming to America, Professor Layton vs. Phoenix right at the end of August, which a lot of people are really excited for. Apparently the demo at Comic-Con basically opens with a dead body, like gruesome detail, and it's like, this is a bit different. This isn't what normally happens in these games. Anyway, then we get into September. Then we start the ball rolling. Sims 4, which is got its own debacles and everything, but I guess it will have the fan base and people will buy it just to see what happens with it. The Sherlock Holmes game, Crime and Punishment, it's coming out early September in Europe, late September in America, North America. There hasn't been a lot of details about that, so I'm a bit skeptical to go for it. To say it's something you should be interested in, but look into it a bit more. I haven't really looked into it that much compared to some of the other games. Most notably, the big one. The first real big one, should I say. September the 9th, Destiny. The beta has gone pretty well for them. They've just, in the last day or so, made it open to everybody on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So if you've got one of those consoles, certainly pick up the beta. It's certainly, from what I've seen so far, it's very much it's more it's Borderlands style, because it's got that sort of kill monsters style thing, but it's obviously got the Bungie seal and better. It's not got the art style, certainly, of Borderlands, but certainly gameplay wise, in terms of XP and building up your rank and everything, it is sort of similar in that sense. So but that isn't a bad thing. Borderlands has been a great series, which we'll get to. NHL 15 is coming out September the 9th as well for North America. I don't know. Then Walking Dead Game of the Year Edition coming out around mid-September for next gen. That's the first season. Second season, I think, is coming some point later in the year. I'm not sure when, though, because they haven't really put a firm date on that. For you Final Fantasy fans and that liked Theatrhythm, or Theatrhythm, I don't know how it's pronounced, but Theatrhythm Final Fantasy, the sequel Curtain Call, will be coming on the 19th, 16th of September, North America, 19th for Europe, which does look to be... It does look fun, the fact that you get all those classic hits, the classic themes from, over 20 plus years nearly. Well, actually, we're coming close to 20, we're probably at 25 years of the franchise. So that's pretty cool. Apparently also on September the 9th, I just noticed it here, Yoga for the Wii. Yeah, we'll leave that there. Then FIFA coming out 23rd in North America, 26th in Europe. Disney Infinity also looks to be releasing that week as well, which is obviously Disney Interactive's version to Skylanders, which I personally prefer, because I prefer the Disney lore and the fact that we're going to have Guardians of the Galaxy and Frozen people, and there's a lot of stuff that you can explore in that. Clearly with the Marvel stuff, we're going to go heavily on Marvel, but there clearly seems to be a tease in the press thing that they showed a few months back that they had the girl from Frozen, I can't remember her name, but she was carrying a lightsaber. It seems to hint that Infinity 3.0 will basically be Star Wars, probably, but we'll see. That series I have a lot more affection for than Skylanders, which is nothing against Spyro. It's just the fact that they cash cowed it massively, which is sad, because it should be a platform game. Like, Activision murdered Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, but that's personal opinion. Hyrule Warriors coming late. I think it's, hang on, I'm just trying to get the details. Coming 19th in Europe of September, and the 26th in North America. Certainly looks to be good with the clash of the Zelda franchise and the Dynasty Warriors. Review or previews of what people have played of it so far seem to be pretty positive, so that's good to see. Then we start to... So, when FIFA normally comes out, that's when it's like business is literally picking up. Because the next week... actually, I completely forgot about that. Right at the end of September, probably early October here, I don't know. It will probably be digital release most places. Hotline Miami 2, wrong number, coming to Sony platforms, I believe at the same time as the PC release. And I am a massive fan of that. The first game is brilliant. It's violent, don't get me wrong. That's why, it should have an 18 rating and stuff. But it's just a brilliant sort of... It's just so fun with its art style, and it really is sort of you get killed, and it's sort of I want to do this one more time. I want to get through it, and I would rate for you out there to play it, as long as you're in the right age bracket. If you're underage, no. You've already told me talk about that. No. Just no. Okay. Forza Horizon 2 will be coming out that week as well, 30th September, 3rd of October in the UK. And of course, 3rd of October is also Super Smash Bros. Day, or at least the 3DS version. No, it's like holiday season for the Wii U edition, but yeah, the 3DS version will finally be coming out then. A lot of people seem to be digging it, really. It's just they sort of want the console version as well as a handheld version, which to me is understandable. So then we get confusing now, because things start releasing all over the place. Skylanders releases on a Sunday in America. I don't know why, because that means it gets its own release date. I guess because it's classified as a toy, which I think says quite a lot. Toys that are worth, how much? Like $20 each for a little figure? You can see why the biggest franchise for Activision isn't Call of Duty, it's Skylanders. Because every kid wants 50 of them at $20 each. So, that's $1,000. Hey kids! Isn't bloody... Isn't currency fun? Isn't capitalism fun? There we go. That's what I was looking for. Forgive me, it's hot. I'm sort of might pass out in a minute. Not because of the good games. Because of, sleep, heat, drink. Might grab a drink. So, 7th of October is the big one for me, personally. Because Europe and America are both getting that day Alien Isolation, which is probably one of my games. This is one of my most anticipated, just because I love the franchise. I love the gameplay that I played back in March. I can't wait to hopefully play it again just before it comes out and get to grips with that. And the fact that now we're going to have sort of DLC based on the original movie with the majority of the original cast, including Sigourney Weaver and Yaphet Kotto and Tom Skerritt and Harry Dean Stanton and Veronica Cartwright all reprising their roles. Apparently the Ian Holm is going to be a voice sound alike, but all them, it's like, you really want my money now, don't you? Sadly, they said, the DLC will be coming out at a later stage. I'm like, I'm saving it, but it's one game that I really don't want to disappoint. I don't want it to disappoint me. Really, really. And I don't want it to do... This is the first time that I've been really sort of hyped for an Aliens game. A lot of people got suckered in with Colonial Marines. And look what happened to that. The difference is, I've played Alien Isolation. I played Aliens Colonial Marines and I wasn't hyped for it beforehand, and I wasn't really hyped after playing it because it was okay, but really not exceptional. Alien Isolation was just brilliant. Well, I played it on the PC, or no, I think I played it on the Xbox One and the PS4, and both have the right sort of experiences. You've got the rumbling in the triggers with the Xbox One, and then with the PS4 you actually got the light bar, so when the alien is close the light bar switches colour, which obviously when you're in a darkened room, which I'm sort of feeling is how they want people to play it, sort of Slender style, because it is that sort of approach with the one alien, one you, and that's pretty much it. But there does seem to be, there was like a report saying you can go deathless, so clearly you have to kill people in the thing. But obviously you can't really kill the alien, otherwise that'll make the most of the game pretty boring. Anyway, that's out that day, and also worldwide will be the Lord of the Rings Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor game, which I must say looks very good as well. I know it's it's not Elder Scrolls, obviously, but it certainly looks to be, from what they've shown so far, the third-person Elder Scrolls people wanted, except it isn't Elder Scrolls, it's Lord of the Rings. Yeah, that's one that I'm keeping on my list to wait till it gets in a Steam sale or in a sale on the retail stores for the consoles. But yeah, that looks pretty cool. And then coming a bit later, you've got Project Spark on the 10th in UK, but 7th in America. Drive Club, finally, a year's delay. Hopefully it's worth it. Probably won't be, but it's weird that I played it last year as an upcoming game. I'm going to play it possibly again this year as an upcoming game. That's just like, so, you know, all that hype that we did for Drive Club, forget that. Oh look, it's Drive Club. It's a bit awkward. And the two big NBA ones, EA with NBA Live on next gen, and 2K with NBA 2K15 on current or past and next gen. Then we get to, and this is where it gets complicated because stuff's moved about, because you'll notice I haven't mentioned one game, but if you've kept up with the news, you know that's been delayed, which I'll get to. Borderlands pre-sequel coming on the 14th, and Walking Dead, there we go, Walking Dead Season 2 coming out both here and in America, or North America should I say, mid-October. So that's going to be, I'm looking forward to that. Also Fantasia Music Evolved I think is coming out for that, which, you know, it looked interesting, and then they disowned Kinect, so Microsoft basically going, it's there if you want it. The new Dance Central game, it's $10. Just, if this Dance Central 2 was, or Dance Central 3 on the 360, how much was that? It was like $60, and now you're willing to do it to just $10. And then I guess people will have to buy songs microtransaction wise. I don't know, risky move, because that was a good franchise and you're basically just burying it, which is a shame. Then worldwide release of the 21st, Evolve. Deal with it. I don't know. No, that's Batista. I'm not Batista. And then week of 21st, 24th for Europe, you've got Just Dance 2015 and Evil Within, as well as 24th worldwide for Sid Meier's Civilization Beyond Earth, which a lot of people are. It's basically sort of the follow-up successor to the Alpha Centauri franchise, and that's a pretty good franchise. So not a lot of, I haven't really got gameplay of that I've properly seen, so we'll see. Assassin's Creed Unity coming 28th of October worldwide. As to what's coming out for the 360 and the PS3, we still don't know. and we are, what, 3 months away? People need to know. That's all I'm saying. Because not everybody's just going to get a next-gen console. Or, you know, spend how much for the PC version outright. And then, week of 28th, 31st of October, you got Sunset Overdrive, the one, Insomniac's great-looking, crazy sort of game. Escape Dead Island, which is sort of supposed to be explaining the story behind how the Epidemic came to be in the Dead Island franchise, which sort of builds up to Dead Island Epidemic, which is free to play on PC, and also, I think to some extent it's free to play anyway, and also the upcoming Dead Island 2 that got revealed at E3. Also, you've got Lords of the Fallen, which does look to be sort of a faster-paced Dark Souls. I know a lot of people complain about the pace of Dark Souls, but the reason is, if it was fast-paced, you'd probably die. And from what I've heard from people that have played, it's like the IGN crew did of Comic-Con a day or so ago. You are going to die a lot if you don't get it mastered. So, yeah. It's certainly, I'm still interested, because the approach to the game I really like. And obviously for wrestling fans, that's a big date as well, because WWE 2K15 is coming out. Then we get another worldwide release, which is the 4th of November for Call of Duty, which is, you know, it's not a surprise, but I don't want to talk much about that, because all we really know is Kevin Spacey, and that's all I want to know. That might be the only reason I'd buy it, Kevin Spacey. If Kevin Spacey wasn't there, I probably wouldn't be interested in Call of Duty. I might be just in the queue, basically going, is Kevin Spacey here? No? Right, I'm leaving the queue. That might be a bit chauvinistic of me, but thank God. The Crew, which is currently on its, I think it's closed beta. But it's going, yeah, it is closed beta. That's going around now, which seems to be getting good reviews, because people are appreciating that it isn't really just a car enthusiast game. It's sort of a game that anybody can pick up and play. And also 11/11, the 14th of November for Europe, the Master Chief Collection for the Xbox One from the Halo. So, Halos 1 through 4, complete, all the multiplayer, all the single player. Apparently there's also an option where there are pre-programmed in options. So if you only want to do tank missions, you can do tank missions. If you only want to do missions when you're going head-to-head with the Flood, you can. Just loads of, quite a few different styles of levels. So, you know, if you just want to play a run through of certain levels from the story modes of the 4 games, you can. And of course, the multiplayer, it's the original games and also the HD remastered edition of the Anniversary Edition and Halo 2, including 6 Halo 2 multiplayer maps, and Halo 3 and 4 are pretty much as is, just ranked up. But the thing that surprises me about that, though, is it's still basically using the same online server stuff for all of them as it did originally. And that still amazes me. Then, the 18th gets a little mixed up now. Far Cry 4 is the big one. I'm looking forward to it. Troy Baker just stealing the show as Kirat. It's just... oh... well, sorry, no, Pagan Yin he is. That looks really cool. But that week, 18th, 21st for Europe, now is Dragon Age 3 Inquisition. Apparently, due to response from feedback and playtesting, Dragon Age has been delayed by a month. Which, you know, it's a shame, but hopefully it does mean that we actually get a good game. But obviously, that does mean it's releasing head-to-head with Warcry 4, at least in North America. This is a bit awkward. In case you're wondering about Battlefield and why I haven't mentioned it, and you haven't seen the news, that's now been delayed to 2015. So it pretty much joins Metal Gear Solid 5, Halo 5, Tom Clancy's The Division, Order 1886, Dying Light. Trying to quickly go through the list here. The new Zelda game, whatever that is. Bayonetta 2 is supposed to be coming out. They said in America October, but I've got no release date from my details from Amazon. Batman Arkham Knight, that got delayed. Elder Scrolls Online for next-gen consoles, that got delayed. Just, yeah, quite a lot of delayed stuff, if we can put it like that. I don't think anything else has, but yeah, certainly it's a shame that Battlefield's been delayed because I was looking forward to that. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire coming on the 22nd of 21st of November. Coming out in Europe on the 28th. Apparently there's an Adventure Time game coming out, which is always awesome. Even though the last one was okay, it wasn't brilliant. And then arguably the big last release, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 Remix, coming out for PS3. Yeah, 2nd and 5th of December, North America, Europe. And then apparently World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor coming out right at the end of the year, December the 20th, at least according to Amazon US listings. Still up in the air. Apparently Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, if I can say it properly, that's coming some point at the end. They say holiday, so I'm hoping it comes this year, because the more and more I'm hearing about that game, it's like yes, and yes. And I'll mention this, even though it is 2015, we do have a confirmed release date that the 25th of February will see the release of Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, another game that I'm really looking forward to, and finishing the Gareth storyline, because it's a pretty good storyline. Also, it features sex. I don't know why I brought that up, but no, that was the sort of thing that garnered it attention in the first and the second game, and it's sort of really, if you look beyond the sex, if you want to be obsessed with that, there is a really good, really good sort of RPG style game in there that people are going to like. So, the guys at CG Projekt Red have got a lot on their hands. But anyway, I probably talked for too long, understandably. But I wanted to get it out there and get this all done before, I head off to any other conventions possibly or whatever. So, yeah, that's the list. I went through them, gave my thoughts on some of them. Ones I'm going to like, ones I'm a little bit unsure on. I want to know what your thoughts are. What games are you looking forward to the rest of this year, even beyond next year? If you want to talk about Metal Gear Solid 5, you can, because that Mike Oldfield track is blooming awesome. It literally puts pretty much stuck on repeat on my MP4, on my music player, whatever. Don't even know what they're called now. I'm so backdated in the time. But anyway, what do you want to see? What are you looking forward to? What don't you want to be disappointed by? Leave it in the comments below. I will probably check them out in a couple of weeks and respond to your guys' thoughts. And obviously, if the game comes out, and I've managed to play it somehow, certainly as well, if there's any big games that are coming out later this year that you want to get my thoughts on, certainly put them in the comments below as well, because something might be happening with that, and, well, I'll keep you addressed on it. But next week, I'll probably talk about something, trivial again, rather than wanting, apparently, why would I want to know what you think? Because, this is the internet. Everybody hates everybody. So, logically, you hate me. I feel depressed now.